How's it going, everybody? This is Brian for Pop Culture Crossing, and today we are talking about The Fearmakers. This 1958 film noir thriller was directed by Jacques Tourneur and is based on Darwin Telheit's novel. An intriguing story, thrilling, mysterious atmosphere, great acting, and excellent messaging are the hallmarks of this film. If you are looking for a classic conspiracy-based thriller, then you do not want to miss this underrated film. The Fearmakers story focuses on Alan Eaton, a former prisoner of war and Korean War veteran who has been released and is on his way back to the United States. Prior to his military service, Eaton was a named member in the public opinion firm Eaton Baker Associates. However, during his time as a POW, significant changes have occurred, namely his business partner Clark Baker has died in a mysterious hit-and-run accident, and Jim McGinnis, a former low-level employee, has taken over the firm. Fortunately, Eaton is friends with Senator Walder, who is heading a Senate committee aimed at uncovering and taking action against conspirators who have infiltrated the public opinion field. Walder states that such seditious individuals are attempting to manipulate public opinion data in order to achieve certain political results and agendas. Due to McGinnis's offer of bringing Eaton on as an advisor, Senator Walder asks Eaton to help him in identifying such activity within Eaton Baker Associates. Now, the film's pacing is in line with film noir and thriller movies in that it is a bit of a slower burn and it's not a complete action-packed film. Yet this is not to say that the hooks of mystery, don't grab you until the end of the film. That is not the case at all. Rather, the seeds of this mysterious, unscrupulous behavior are sowed well within the first act. And this grabs the audience's attention and will keep you invested until the conclusion. The movie has thrilling, mysterious, and film noir flourishes as is reflected in its tone. The film noir elements, more often than not, tend to deal with crime in terms of organized crime and private investigators. However, the criminal components in The Fearmakers center on a different crime, and that is conspiracy. So all of this helps the film simultaneously feel grounded, distinctive, and intriguing. All great things that you want as a viewer for a movie. The film also pertains to doing what is right no matter the personal cost, which is a positive tonal attribute indeed. Both Eaton and Senator Walder have strong dialogue in which they explain various situations, be it correct public opinion polling methodology or the nefarious activity of those exploiting the public for their specified political agendas. All of this is evidence of the strong writing that really is just quite memorable and really resonant in 2017. Viewers may think that some elements are inconsequential, but I want to tell you that's not the case. Everything in the film is intentional, and it's really nice to see everything come full circle and watch all the pieces come together. And it happens quite smoothly as well. So this is all a testament of Elliot West and Chris Apley's superbly crafted screenplay of Darwin Telheit's original source material. Dana Andrews' performance as Alan Eaton is enjoyable to watch. Eaton's devotion to ethics and opposing corruption is commendable and is believable given Andrews' portrayal of the character. Viewers also have sympathy for Eaton, who is currently dealing with, quote, war souvenirs. And this was an earlier term for post-traumatic stress due to his imprisonment and torture in China. And the way in which some characters attempt to leverage this against Eaton as a way of trying to discredit him or threatening to discredit him really adds to and compounds the tension and creates a slight sinking feeling in that you are definitely there with Eaton and you're like, holy cow, if they actually do what they're threatening, then that's going to be tough for Eaton to fight because that's just an uphill battle. Even though he may not be in the wrong, it's tough nevertheless. Now, opposite Andrews as Eaton is Dick Foran's Jim McGinnis, who is also well acted. Foran's performance of the shady, repulsive McGinnis and his treatment of Eaton is sound, though crazy because he's opposite of the protagonist, so you know what that means. But the supporting cast of Marilee Earl, Mel Torme, and Roy Gordon, among others, effectively rounds out the supporting cast. Earl does a great job illustrating Lorraine Dennis's dilemma regarding the suspicious activity within the firm. She and Andrews have great on-screen chemistry to boot. Torme seamlessly captures the aura of a bookish statistician down to the very, though somewhat exaggerated, idiosyncrasies and character tics. Gordon's Senator Walder is also a great supporting stalwart, and as I mentioned earlier, both Eaton and Walder deliver wise, cutting monologues and lines of dialogue, and when paired with the performances by the actors, this element is especially extraordinary. Sam Levitt's cinematography is great to watch. There is one scene where Eaton is seen at the top of the steps in front of the U.S. Capitol building, and he kind of looks back, and you can tell for this shot that it's like a picture or an image of the Capitol. And then it cuts to a wide shot where it shows a small figure, meaning him, walking down the steps from a distance. And I don't know if that was actually Andrews or a body double. It's probably a double. But anyways, the angles don't really line up because you see where he would have been on the stairs, and then you see the shot where he looks back, and it's like, that wouldn't have been the same angle. And because these cinematographic shots are edited right after one another, it's kind of jarring and noticeable because it's like, oh, well, I don't know if that would have been the right angle, but okay. Nevertheless, this is a small, minor critique, but I wanted to mention it anyways. One of the scenes shows Eaton sleeping, and the way in which the camera starts on a window, which is replete with gobo-style lighting, which is a common film noir technique, where you can see the outline of the window pane with a light shining through, and the camera starts there and then pans over to Eaton. This just really confirms the movie's film noir nature, and it's quite enjoyable if you're a fan of that. And there's also a sequence at the Lincoln Memorial and showing the Lincoln Memorial and the Washington Monument. And this really reminded me of the Mount Rushmore sequence in North by Northwest. Now, interestingly enough, North by Northwest was released the year after The Fearmakers in 1959. Now, it would be fascinating to know if this sequence in The Fearmakers at all influenced Hitchcock in his choices in North by Northwest. So that's just an interesting little tidbit there. The film's production design is skillfully done. The airplane model in the first act is great and holds up well today. And the exterior facade of Eaton Baker Associates is creatively constructed and adds character to the firm itself. The offices inside the firm and the wardrobe of the characters all reflect the time frame in which the movie was shot and set, which is the 1950s. And Eaton's trench coat especially adds more character and noir panache, and Dana Andrews looks great in it as well. Irving Gertz's music is suspenseful and at times energy-filled. The opening sequences, intense music, is maybe a bit extreme, but nevertheless, it communicates the heightened tension and craziness of Eaton being imprisoned by the Chinese and all the torture and just high-energy craziness that happened then. Jacques Tourneur's direction of The Fearmakers is impressive. From the calculated writing to the mysterious atmosphere, enjoyable performances, and the pertinent messaging, Tourneur's supervision and execution of The Fearmakers is a demonstration of his strong, often film noir-filled directorial repertoire. Overall, The Fearmakers is a criminally underrated film. Yes, that's right. And if you're looking for a great conspiracy-filled classic noir, then you can't go wrong with this movie. And as I briefly mentioned before, this film is incredibly resonant in 2017. And the clear-cut manner in which the film's excellent underlying messages of standing up for justice and doing what is right really are a memorable feature of the film. And quite honestly, we need more messages like that coming out of Hollywood. So that's my review of The Fearmakers. Let me know if you've seen it before, and hit me up in the comments below or across the Pop Culture Crossing social media channels. I'm curious to hear your picks there. In the meantime, let me know what your top 3 film noir films are. I'm curious to hear your picks. Be sure to let me know there. I also want to let you know, in case you didn't know already, Pop Culture Crossing's reviews and award prediction of all our content is available as an audio podcast edition on iTunes and Google Play. So feel free to subscribe there and listen on the go. Don't miss our full detailed written review at popculturecrossing.com. And be sure to like, share, and subscribe, and we appreciate your support. Thanks for watching. See you next time. Bye.